Are we definitely live now? We got it sorted. We are. We're on. We're on. We good.
Yep.
Welcome to another another episode of State of Mind. Today we've got Melanie Archer, and welcome, Mel. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah,
Quite great.
we're doing
It's
doing all right.
school holidays. My kids aren't here, so it's great. Yes. No. I miss them.
Well, today we've got Mel from the Foundry Cowork in Erina, and we'll hear from her in a little bit on her expansion, which is some great news. But we wanted to talk to Mel today around why the Foundry Cowork space. How did it come about? Can you give us a bit of a background?
Yeah, so it came about because I sent myself crazy, basically. I moved out of Sydney and up to the Central Coast and thought, well, I'll work from home. And, you know, when you start working from home, it's sort of like you're living the dream. You don't have to get out of your PJs. You know, everything's at home. You don't have to leave. It's cushy. You're like, yes, this is the best thing ever. And then fast forward 10 years, still working from home, have had two kids, have been pushed out of any spare bedrooms onto the dining table, and found myself in a prison of my own making, basically, where I didn't see a soul all day, and still am a creative, so something where you kind of need to be stimulated by others or some kind of outside stimulation anyway. So I kind of lost my zest for my job, and then I kind of became a shell of a person, really. And I didn't really know that it was because of that until I went and had to go seek help to find out what was wrong with me. And yeah, so luckily I found the main source of my issues was the fact that I'd been at home for 10 years and just needed to find some friends, basically. So then I thought, okay, I'll move out of home so I rented an office for a little bit, but it was not on my own, but at least I was a bit more productive, a bit more motivated, get up, get dressed, go to work, get your work done. There's other people around, but they were sort of in their own offices in this building. And I couldn't really find that connection. I tried, and I couldn't really get anyone that was interested in coming for a coffee or doing anything like that. They were all just shut the door and do their work and go home. So then I went on a trip overseas and went to New York to visit my best friend, and just happened to come across all these weird and wonderful co-working spaces in New York. There's so many different types, like ones that just work out of a different restaurant. Every time you book in, they'll be like, today's location is this restaurant. So restaurants that are closed during the day, and this one co-working company you join, and you don't know where you're going to be working from. Each day it's a different restaurant. Like all these really cool concepts, you know, pet co-working spaces, like, well, you know, anything you can imagine happens in New York. So I started thinking, there's really a good market for that on the coast, because there's got to be a lot of people like me that have moved away from Sydney or similar and work for themselves but need somewhere to be. So I just thought, I'm going to open one and see how I go. So that was the start of that. So that was just under 4 years ago now. That was a really long answer to a very basic question.
No, that's fine. Sorry, Sandro, go.
No, it was quite good because I like what you mentioned about all the different workspaces that you ended up finding out. Like it was more like it was your journey towards finding your own solution, because Andrew and myself sort of found the same thing. We found ourselves traveling out of where we are and going to Sydney and directly into the CBD and going into many different workspaces. We found that we were going out more often to all these workspaces, and we didn't have anything local. And that's how we came about to starting something around here. But then we found that you existed up in Erina, and we came out to meet you and thought, oh, what a great place that you have. You've started with this with the one in Erina. We haven't been to the one in Gosford. Tell us how you came about Gosford.
So I've been wanting to expand for a little while. Erina post-COVID got really busy. And I knew there was a market in Gosford because there was a previous co-working space in Gosford run by our council. And for those that don't know, our council is under administration, due to being very negligent with our money.
Funny that.
Yes. So I waited to see what was happening with that space, and then they announced late last year that it was not going to reappear. And I knew that it was really busy there. They were pretty much at capacity, and I knew that their meeting rooms were highly sought after, and that there was nothing else in Gosford for locals now in Gosford. And also Gosford's having a bit of a transformation at the moment. Revitalisation is the buzzword they're using up here. And so I thought it's a good time to do it, right when all this development's happening and in surge of people. So I thought, right, it's time to strike.
And it's launched. So you're there now in Gosford.
I am.
I mean, there seems to be a great community for it up there, and even going to all the LinkedIn Local Central Coast, seeing that and the people that involved just got a real vibrant community up there, seeking space to collaborate and come together. But what benefits are you seeing from the co-work spaces, and not just from small business, but maybe for employers as well?
Yeah, so that's actually quite a new market that I'm discovering. That because of COVID happening and a lot of people now being used to their employees working remotely, a lot of bigger companies in Sydney are downsizing their floor space. So say a company once had 4 floors, they might downsize to 1 floor and have their employees working from home a lot of the time. Now, and in saying that, they might have 6 employees that live on the coast. And it would be great to have those 6 people still work as a team in a space. So they're utilising co-working spaces in these satellite regions as little hubs for their employees that live in that location. So the employees have somewhere to go. It's still a workspace. It's professional and has all of the facilities that those employees need. But it saves them the 2-hour commute to and from work every day. So that is something that is definitely increasing in demand in Gosford and elsewhere on the Central Coast.
And co-work in general, I was having a conversation with someone the other day who didn't actually know what co-work was, but he was saying to one of his mates that he travels down from the Central Coast and was saying that you need to find an office. And then I explained the co-work thing, but he wasn't sure and said, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea." So are you finding up there that co-working is still kind of a new term used, I suppose?
100%. And even when I opened the first one in Erina, I was shocked at how little it was known about up here on the coast. But yeah, every day I come across someone that does not know what that is. So it amazes me. I went to a networking breakfast this morning, and 2 people had no idea what I was talking about. And, it was in Erina where I have a co-working space. So, I'm shocked daily by this, but just goes to show there's a lot of education to be done as part of my marketing. And that's something that I need to sort of touch more on, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely a big need for awareness for people to get an understanding of what it is. because when they do ask, it's what is it? What do you tell people? It's like, what's the first thing that comes in your mind when someone asks, what is it?
Yeah, this is something I need to refine too, because I think my default is just to say, oh, it's for people that work from home that are sick of working from home. But really, it's so much more than that. But that's kind of just my quick answer, and it's sort of, it's not enough. I need to kind of work out my mini elevator pitch to people that ask what that is, because for me, it's about separating work and life. And also it's about mental health, and it's about connection with others, whether that be social connection or business connection, or a mentor connection. I think we all need some kind of human interaction in our lives, and so it can be quite isolating working from home full time. So, and everyone's different. Some people are fine to be at home for a month, then venture to a co-working space once a month, and that's enough for them. Other people need somewhere else to be 5 days a week, and if there's everyone in between that. So I think the good thing about co-working spaces is they're flexible, and there's usually an option to suit everyone's needs.
There's a vast majority of needs there, like what you mentioned, and it's more than just a desk. It's really a place to work to increase your productivity. Is a lot of people are trying to avoid all the things that distract them from home, because a lot of people that do work from home tend to want to try and accomplish all the things for home at the same time, or feel guilty from partners, right? Because some partners are probably like going, hey, you've been home all day, and we need something around that. We need to create a skit around it. So yeah, you know what, we're going to come up, and maybe we should do a skit around a couple of videos around that, and we can create something. We'll use it for marketing for like a whole collaborative group that we're developing here, that we can sort of create something for us and start building that awareness, and yeah, it's great. So what other parts what are you currently providing? Like what sort of desks are you providing? Are you providing offices in the Gosford? What's your service offering?
Yeah, so Gosford is a lot bigger than Erina. Erina just started as 12 desks and a meeting room. And then, when I opened Gosford, I wanted to sort of expand and get into the private office market, which is an emerging market in Australian co-working spaces post-COVID, for the same reasons I mentioned before, and local teams wanting their own space, but often their own privacy as well, working with their own four walls as well. So my new Gosford space has some private offices, and incidentally, they were snapped up before I even opened the doors, so definitely could have done more of those. And then here I have 2 meeting rooms, and they're much bigger than what Erina could accommodate. Really, like Erina accommodates 6 people, and it's still quite squeezy in that meeting room. So here I have a small meeting room that's still bigger than the Erina one. That takes sort of up to 10, and then I've got a large boardroom that takes sort of up to 20 people. So they've been very popular as well, the meeting spaces, because I know the council meeting rooms were really heavily utilised, so they've been very popular since opening here, which is good.
What about in the event space? So you provide people able to book to run an event? Maybe they've got a book launch, or they want to meet some clients?
Yeah, for sure. We do offer, we run a lot of events ourselves as well, but I'm always open to people coming and saying, hey, I've got this idea, can we do it? And I'm always happy to talk about sponsoring those events and hosting them. I'm doing one in a couple of weeks for South African expats on the Central Coast Who would have thought?
Well, there you go.
I just had a member who's South African who said, I'm on this Facebook book group for expats on the Central Coast, and none of us have ever actually met in person, like maybe one or two, but there's, 50 of us in this one group, and I'd love us all to get together for drinks. And I said, sure, do it here. I'll host it. I'll organise the nibbles and drinks and get them all here, no fee. And for me, it's great exposure to that community and great opportunity for me to meet new people and have a good couple of hours of fun. So events are always a great thing to do as part of community building in new areas. So that's definitely on the radar for Gosford.
It's providing that environment, I guess, being able to have somewhere for people to go. And there's a variety of reasons for that too. Well, I don't know, Alessandra, I don't know if you got any other questions?
No other questions at the moment. No, I was just thinking of a couple of things and where is it located? So just to let people know exactly where it is, how to get there. What are the opening hours, perhaps? And
cool. So Gosford is 86 Man Street. So it's the main street of Gosford, near the corner of Donison Street Lights. Yep. Ground floor, and it's accessible, this one. And it is open 9 till 6, Monday to Friday for casuals, but 24/7 for members. And same hours of operation for Erina as well. But Erina's not accessible as there's a flight of stairs, unfortunately.
Well, I was going to say we've pinned the website, the Foundry Cowork, here. If anyone listening wants to know more, they can go there. If you are, we've probably got a couple more minutes, but if there is a chat box there, if anyone's got any questions they want to ask us, we can have a chat about it. Feel free to throw them in there.
I see you guys out there, and I can see you all listening. I can see you watching. Come say hi. I can see the viewers. I see you.
Well, I know we've been in talks too with running events at the Foundry, so we'll continue to be in touch. Time and
especially the school holidays. After the school holidays, we'll make our way up and have a look at the new workspace. We'll chat again and introduce you to the other workspaces that we've talked about. So I think you've already had a chance to speak to a couple. Did you get in touch with any of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, everyone's been very lovely.
Okay, perfect. Okay, did you have anything else you'd like to say, Mel?
No, not really. Go to our website, have a look at the events coming up, and I look forward to having you guys up soon for your networking event.
Look at that. There's Colette Evans. Great venue.
Colette. Great venue.
Thanks, Colette.
Oh, thanks, Cole.
Thanks for jumping in there. Well, I guess that'll wrap us up for today. So thanks again, Mel, for jumping on.
Thanks,
Thank
Mel.
you for having me. Thank you, guys.
No, thanks
Always
very much.
Always a pleasure.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, we'll see everyone next week.
Until next week. See you all. Bye.
See ya.